Who am I? You know what I found out the other day? I found out that Peach Jars, streamer extraordinaire on Twitch.com, she has an OnlyFans. Didn't know that. Honest to God. I guess you never really know someone until you find out everything about it. Which, you know, it's not like it's problematic or anything, right? Because if it was, then it would be like there'd be like a big fuss about it. But there isn't. So. It's a junk. You know what I really hate about Nate is the fact that he has a really stupid scream whenever he starts falling. I would be okay if he was just like a silent protagonist, but because he is the way that he is, being the guy that always has to do it the hard way or whatever it is, he makes me want to throw up inside of my mouth. I was watching The Punisher while I was playing this part, The Punisher Season 1, and the guy that plays Billy Russo is the same guy that plays... He plays, I think, Prince Caspian in the Narnia films. That's almost the only thing I remember him from. But he was also in like another show beforehand. He was like kind of a player sort of guy as well in that. Maybe that's the only other show I've seen him from is The Punisher. And I'm just like fabricating another one that he was in that was also not Narnia. I wouldn't doubt that. Why is it that I bet Nate is somewhat self-aware in the idea that he's like a neck-bearded 35-year-old guy. Of course he ignores it most of the time because if he concentrates on it for a long time, he'll feel ashamed. But do you ever stop and think that he's so self-aware about himself that he realizes that wearing a stupid little onesie is kind of immature and a little bit cringe and stupid and embarrassing? Do you think he ever figures that? I don't think he does. I think the last time I wore a onesie was not before 10 years old. It was probably during like a camping trip though, where it's kind of like the tactical onesie or like the onesie that's like specifically designed to help you with, you know, camping and shit like that. Maybe. Or like one for skiing, probably, actually. I will say, though, in his defense, they are a little bit more comfortable than just regular pajamas. Nowadays, I sleep butt ass. I don't know why, but I do. I feel markedly uncomfortable whenever I just wear like regular pajama you know, pants or shorts or whatever when I'm sleeping now. I cannot screw up this chance that I've been given to actually progress past this point. Whew. So from now on, I'm going to be a little bit more careful. I know there's probably going to be some more things that you can slip on up here. But what I appreciate about this section, ooh, is this like, this is now the new place where I'm capable of falling down to? Oh. Hang on, cutscene.
Nate, is that you?
Hey, Mike.
Why'd you check the stairs? These stairs raw.
Yeah, they look good.
So good.
I just kind of was hoping for adventure, I guess.
Not buying it. It doesn't look like an adventure. It goes the exact same way as the stairs. You've made a mistake. You should just go back down and come up the stairs.
Well, okay, listen. Don't tell me I've made a mistake, right? Because this is genuinely, even meta outside of the game, doing this entire route is genuinely impressive, I think. Which is kind of why I'm doing this.
So much easier.
Why did you take the odd way? Why did you take the odd way, sir? Why did you do that? Why didn't you take the stairs? I imagine for Nate it's ego, but for me it's accomplishment. Ego is when you feel the need to be assured of your own success because of like the value of what you personally have put into anything. I think I used the wrong verbiage. I need to get better at explaining that. I think it's like, it's bad for Nate to do this because it's like he needs to learn humility. Oh my gosh. Ugh, I do not like that gap at all. Ugh, I don't like that. I do not like that gap. Don't. Okay. Well.
Oh, bother.
Nate, you're pissing me off, pal. It's not so much how long this takes or how difficult in general it is to get up this route that makes it suck. I think it's just that there's certain points where you have to do really precision movements, and those take more time, like several times more time than it is to do like the easy sections of this, and that's what makes it frustrating. Imagine you're a pilot for an airline and you do a route like 1,000 times, and you know how to do it really well, and you take pride in it, and then one day you turn off your brain more than usual because it's like, oh, I've done this a billion times, and then one slight movement off and then everything goes awry and you crash. Well, it's not my fault so much as it is the fault of the process in and of itself for like kind of sneaking up on you. But you can't just blame that. That's not how it works in real life. You can't just blame like, flying this plane is actually really easy, and it's just this one tiny thing that made it go awry, so it's its fault. You can't say that in real life. You have to like take it like a man. You gotta be like, yeah, guys, I kind of fucked up, even though it's like kind of expectable that I would make a mistake at some point during my entire career. Man, that's the thing about work. So you do everything right, and it's like an expectable thing from you, right? So you get like neutral responses for doing something the correct way. But the second you get something even slightly wrong, people start getting pissed at you. That's not fair. Not to say that it would be better, I guess conceptually as a game if they did this, but if they allowed Nate to use his hands as well as his feet, I think it would add an extra layer of complexity to this that might be really valuable for people to learn. And who knows, maybe they'll add that in an extra update at some point. I just don't like that he just has his hands next to his sides 24/7 every time he's walking up a mountain, as though he doesn't know how to do it at all, which is the concept, but it's just like it's pissing me off. We're getting back to where we were. A thing I need to mention is that I'm kind of pseudo, maybe just a little bit cheating at this point in particular, because I have levers on the controller that I'm using that reduce how much I can push my trigger in, and that's how you adjust the height on controller for how much Nate lifts his leg up. I think it's necessary. I gotta kind of shimmy along this. Here, listen. I can. You got the. See, look, it locks it at a certain height. And this is actually, I think this is the first time that this has become genuinely useful for me to use. Because I don't play like other games where it's necessary for triggers to be sensitive to pressure, like racing games and stuff. I never played those kinds of games. So I'm just sitting here being like, okay, well, I got the Super Pro Xbox Elite whatever corded controller and I just play games like this. Okay. It's a little bit intricate. Well, I wouldn't say intricate. That's the wrong word to use. I'd say it's a little bit particular. Man, I wish I was funnier. I wish I was more entertaining than this. Because I can talk about the source material, but like I'm not Mr. Jokes. Running jokes implies that there's someone to tell jokes to, so that you can. So that you can gauge how funny a joke actually is. Oh my god. Okay, that's a lifesaver, man. I honestly think that was pretty luck-based. Okay, yeah. Damn it! Nate? Nate? You know, some might call this a waste of time. I genuinely think it is good for your mind. And I know that these fighting games, they're characteristically called rage games because you're angry whenever you just slightly screw something up. But it's the concept of learning how to persevere that is really good for your pathology as a human being. What if we gave up every time we tried something new, right? And we didn't try again? Then we wouldn't have, Thomas Edison's light bulb. He had to figure out 1,000 different ways how not to make a light bulb before he found out the one right way. I know that there's like 1,000 other people that are treating this as their light bulb, so there's just 1,000 other light bulbs that are gonna exist. But I think this genuine, unique experience to me, because of the way that I interact with the game, is as valuable. I always say, the less there is of anything, the more valuable it becomes. There's some things where there's an exception to the rule. The more effort you put into something, the more valuable it becomes. Even if it's just more valuable to you. Some of you guys, I don't know if you can hear her in the background, but my dog, she's she's like 13 years old at this point, and I think because of her age, she has this really bad habit of like licking the floor constantly. I've done some research. It's probably because she's bored. When we're both at work, she's at home for 8 hours a day. Right? So when we come home and we see her licking the floor, we're like, what? Why is she doing that? It's a little bit unusual, but really the only thing she has to do inside of a house every day is either sleep, eat, or try and figure out something fun to do. Which the most fun she has, any given day is seeing us come home and then like maybe playing with her toys for like 5 minutes. It's not like she can throw her own ball. I bet there's an invention out there where like a dog can basically throw its own ball. But that's not the joy, isn't it? That's not the joy of doing the thing though. The joy is in the dog connecting to the people that love them. And that's the thing that humans get wrong, is that it's not objects or a bombardment of the senses in a positive way that makes them happy. It's spending genuine quality time with people that you care about. I don't know if y'all have seen the earlier portion of this game where he wishes he was dead, but I think that's the only real thing that has ever come out of Nate's mouth in this entire ordeal. I think there's a lot of people that in a way relate to Nate, but only in some ways. Like, I bet there's a guy out there that relates to Nate and that he's like a ginger, which is or that he's like neck bearded, or has like messy hair, or is like 35 living in his parents' basement, or just like plays video games and smokes weed all day and stuff like that. I bet there's guys that relate to him, right? I don't think that there's like necessarily a positive thing to have happen because people relate to this guy. I think Nate as a character will negatively affect people in general. The existence of this phenotype of person might make people that are like him justify that it's okay for them to live like this. Can you get up, Nate? Can you get up, please? Get up, Nate. In the same way that there's always a bigger fish, there is always someone who is worse at life than you. And it might surprise some people to know that Nate might actually be doing better than someone else in life.